first update, we just reached 2,100 subscribers.
I'm your boy Mush King. You already know, I got a story to tell.
Hey, what it is, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of A Story to Tell right here on the CWF Network. I'm your boy Mush King, and we are back with another update. So I told you I would bring you guys along for the journey, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So first update, we just reached 2,100 subscribers. So clap it up for us and clap it up for you, because that's dope. But seeing that the end of the year is coming, it's now time for me to get on my shit. So I gotta start posting the polls again. I gotta start seeking hosts for the shows again. And also, I gotta start developing this series that I'm putting out. So today I said, get your ass in them books and let's start. So I got my good trusty notebook and my good trusty calendar and got to work. So I was able to sit here and record three promos for Bryson. I decided to drop a what did I decide to drop? I wanted to do like a 5-day countdown when the date comes. So I said, if you to any creative out there, if you're working on a project, set a date, put a name to it. Sorry, I'm making coffee, but pick a name, pick a date, and stick to it and work towards that. So, if I just kept saying, oh, I'm gonna put it out soon, I'm gonna put it out soon, I'm gonna put it out soon, like, it's never gonna come out, because, like, who the fuck is gonna track soon? If you put a date on it and keep telling people, this is the date that's coming, this is the date that's coming, we can start working it out like that. So I was able to record 3 videos for, day 5, day 4, and day 3. The phone died, so I gotta do day 2 and 1, but I'll do those later down the line, because I was able, actually, I'm gonna do those on, let's pick a day, December 10th. Boom. So we're gonna open up our calendar. December 10th is a Wednesday. Record promo Bryson for day 2 and 1 of countdown. Okay, so I added that. Now we're gonna go to December 20th, and I wanted to do it around the holidays because, like, a lot of people are gonna be traveling and stuff like that, so it's gonna give them time to be able to, move and shake. December 20th is a Saturday. I didn't even know that. The Bryson premiere. So now people can't even be like, oh, I didn't hear it. Like, I was at work. Now it's not gonna, you're not gonna have something. So, okay, so that's done. Now, the video I did last time was pretty good. It was pretty good, but I just wanted to come and update you. These videos might not be that long, but as we expand and do things like that, then we'll start to get a little bit longer. The second thing the next thing I can mention to you is, for Bryson, I really want to this time, like, try to get, I hope my phone don't die, because I don't think this charger's on. Anywho, I think it might die soon. And if it dies, I'll come back. I really want to try to get sponsorships for this show. So this is a perfect opportunity. One thing about me is I always want everybody to win. If you got a brand, if you got a clothing line, if you do have services, whatever you do, I want you to win. So with this being like a scripted improv series, it allows me the opportunity to incorporate brands, incorporate stores, incorporate anything that I want to mention into the storyline, to mention, so people can go check out whatever services is with that. So this is a perfect opportunity to do that. So I just used ChatGPT to write me I wrote a description. Y'all, if you're using AI, be a little smart. Don't just sit there and be like, write me a description. Like, write the description yourself, put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, can you reword this? Or, can you make this more polished or something like that? the more you put into the ChatGPT, the more it remembers about you. So it will talk in your tone if you are someone who uses it to, I'm not the person who uses it for like life, should I do this, should I do that? Like, I don't use it for that, but I will use it for like emails and stuff like that, because like I'm very fast typing, fast thinking, so I type like I think, and sometimes it'd be all over the place, and so I write it and then I put it in there to fix it, and then I paste it back. So it helps with my tone, it helps me with not having sassy responses when people respond to me, like, so just a tip for people who use AI. But I was able to write a little description for Bryson, so I'm gonna post that on Threads probably today and see if we can get some brands, some people interested in that. That way is a way we can make money. And lastly, I also set up a buy me a coffee account. So if you're a creator who you may not have a whole bunch of followers, but you have a growing community, sign up for something like buy me a coffee, Patreon, whatever it is. Like, try to monetize your community. And because I've been down in depression and stuff like that for the past couple of years, I haven't really monetized the way like people have been monetizing from the internet. And it's just like, before the internet was what it was now, I was monetizing off that shit. So it's just like, I gotta get my mind reprogrammed into how people do it today, which is coming online and talking on these videos. So that's why I want to start doing these and getting more comfortable again, because being in the pandemic, like, I stopped talking to people and social skills ain't there no more. So you just doing it. But before I get out of here, I just want to say one thing. Like, this network was created because I literally had to walk 2 miles every day to the train station, take a train, transfer to a bus, work 8 to 4, then get back on that bus to the train, back to walk the 2 miles back to the house for a job that paid $11 an hour. When it comes to just doing shit because you have to, I feel like that's literally been like my whole adult life, because I've made choices to be like, nah, I want to live a creative life. I don't want to live like a stick in the mud. I knew that camera was gonna die, but like I was saying, I've just always felt like I've always had to do what I had to do. And like, one thing about it is, I've been the same way with my creative career. When I didn't get the opportunity for radio, I started this network. When I didn't get the opportunity for a clothing line, I started my own. Like, when I wanted to do something, I did it on my own. If I wanted to go somewhere, I went. And I've always lived a life of being like, you know what, you're gonna do what you want, no matter what no one says. And I've gotten so used to that, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. But I will say, it's definitely a lonely fight, because people don't see your vision, people don't understand why you go so hard. And I go so hard because I had to do all those things for that job at $11 an hour. And like, when it was a simple 5-minute ride to a train station, and but you can't make people do stuff if they don't feel like getting up to take you to the train station. You just gotta do what you gotta do. Like, the world ain't gotta stop because you don't have a ride. And so that's what I've always operated on, and that's the same thing what I'm doing with this network. So I opened up the Buy My Coffee account so you can support the dreams that I have, the ideas that I have. And so I'm able to sit here and pay the hosts what they're worth. And I wish I could have paid everyone that works on this network sometimes. Like, it's just like, I know that things probably would have been a little more different. I think, my approach would have been a little bit more different towards things. But you live and you learn, and it's not something, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just starting a network of people, from strangers from around the country, like, and Canada. And just trying to, get them to see this vision of what I had. And a lot of them seen it for the time being, but it's just like, how many times are you supposed to do a show? But because I did the show, and I know, like, you can't just do 10 episodes and be like, okay, now pay me. I want a partnership. I want a sponsorship. Like, it don't work like that. Like, and so I think this time around with creatives, I want to be able to explain that to them. But now, they have an avenue to be like, if I'm going to do this for you, I want to be able to at least, advertise my platform, which could be their own Buy Me a Coffee. Who knows? I don't know what that wants to be, but we can collaborate on certain things. But I just been what was that? I've just been reading my books. I have a book on PR that I'm reading. I'm actually about to take that back it's not that interesting. It's more like textbook based PR more than like experience based PR. So I don't really like that book. I have a book on like your brand's voice, how to create your brand's voice, and it's different stories of different brands and how they change the perception of the brand. And that's a good book, and it has like 40 examples of brands and how they changed the voice from, whether it was a scandal that happened or whether like their brand just aged out and they needed a new way of thinking about it. And one of them happened to be Cup of Noodles. Like that was one of the stories in there about like, and it's so crazy because they did a study, and a lot of the young kids were just like Cup of Noodles is mad old, like that's old, and stuff like that. And essentially the background of the brand was like they became big because it was like a fast way to make a meal. It was like fast. They continue to push this narrative of a fast meal to millennials and Gen Zs and all that, but like they did the test and realized that like they didn't want to be looking at stuff fast. They wanted to take their time and do things, and they want to put original ingredients and stuff like that. So like they had to create a whole new brand voice and build upon what they've already had, but build it upon the voice of the future customers. So it's just a book that makes you think on things like that. So I got to think about different things with the network and the value of the network and what I'll offer and what I'm just trying to do. And all it is just provide a platform for Black voices. And if you've been listening to the CWF Network since day one, I have always said, whether it was conversation with friends or listening to the story to tell, why is there no Central Black News Network? Why is there no Black Nightly News Network? Why is there no Black version of the Today Show? When the album come out, they want to go on those platforms and not, something like we had with 106 and Park. That's why 106 and Park was so successful, because our stars got to go there and we got to see them. Like we didn't have to tune into Variety and People magazines, Hottest People, and all of these things that don't really highlight our culture, but yet we're still sitting there looking for validation from these platforms. I don't care if they're aged or not. If the Image Award wanted to give me a Lifetime Achievement Award, I'm showing up and doing the big one. I just don't like the fact that like the BET Awards, the Hip Hop Awards, all the awards, the Black Awards, they are not really attended by nobody, and they just became a joke over time. So I'm just trying to create a space for Black voices to where they can just come and be themselves and not have to worry about, changing it up for their clientele. If they want to, cool, but that's just my story, and this has been a story to tell. Catch you next time, folks.